Hi everyone. Today we're talking about Blucher siphonic roof drainage. Thanks for joining me. I'm Walt C., the North Central Regional Manager for Blucher, a division of Watts Water Technologies that specializes in stainless steel piping and drainage. So to understand and learn more about siphonic roof drainage, we kind of have to understand the principles of standard gravity flow and gravity roof drainage. So with the gravity drain, what happens is water's flowing downward through the slope on the roof, goes to the drain, and as it goes down the vertical pipe or downward, it creates a swirling or vortex motion. The swirling, actually the water adheres to the sidewalls of the pipe, and as it goes through, clings to the walls of the pipe on the vertical. So it also generates a vortex. That vortex pulls in air from the top of the roof drain itself and draws it into the system. So from this case, you're only having a third of the pipe volume that's full of water, where 2/3 of the volume is full of air, which is a pretty inefficient flow option. The flow rate is also controlled by the ability of water to enter the drain. So function of allowable water depths on the roof. So where this can result to somewhat of a high ponding and a high water level on the roof because of this inefficient or only being able to use a third of the volume of the pipe to bring the water out and down to drain. So looking at a complete gravity system, you notice that the roof is laid to slope via gravity. So the water is going to all the collection points, which are the roof drains on the system. In some of the modern designs, the pipe can increase slope that's underneath the roof drain, but this also kind of dictates the pipe length that can be running with that slope until it needs to go between and hit a down pipe. What that creates is just a lot of additional kind of below ground drainage needs, underbedding, trenching to be able to connect these systems to everything and connect each of the systems in daisy chain to get the water out and down to sewer or wastewater treatment, stormwater harvesting, and so forth. So one of the key differences from gravity to vacuum, as you see with both of the Blucher roof drain options, they're the same roof drain itself. The big difference is what we call a siphonic plate or a baffle. So what this does is it attaches inside the kind of the top of the roof drain right before where the water is collecting and going down the vertical pipe. What that creates is actually reduced potential for the air to get drawn into the system, and also decreases the amount of water on the roof. So when you have less water coming on the roof, because it's basically less ability to pond, because as the water rises, it goes past this plate, closes off all of the air, and at that point, that's where the siphonic action actually starts. So it can draw in that more water, and we'll get to that on the next slide here. So from siphonic roof drainage, the initial rain flow basically flows the exact same as the gravity system. What's happening is when you minor flow, a little flow coming through, it's acting as a gravity system going through the system, going through the piping and down to drain. What occurs is as rainfall increases and the ponding level increases on the roof, adding more weight to the structure, integrity, and so forth, the siphonic system actually, at a lower water level than gravity, closes off all of the air, which allows the piping to kind of prime itself, kick out and push out all of the air pockets in the pipe itself and create a suction effect. So this is drawing the water from the roof. And instead of a gravity system that's a third full of the volume of the pipe, the siphonic actually creates and uses 100%, drawing in all of the water from the roof, so you can see and understand how it can clear and reduce the weight and the water ponding level on the top of the roof very quickly. So with the siphonic drainage, basically you see from a negative pressure, And that is basically, I'm sorry, just head up here, where it's generated by the height of the building. So the higher the building, basically the larger the pressure, as you can see. As it's going through that baffle design, and the ponding or water level gets above that siphonic plate, it draws in the water, completely fills the piping system, and allows the pipes to actually run completely horizontal, and carrier pipe down through the downpipe and discharge. So you see, in comparison from a gravity system to a siphonic system, there's less roof drains needed. From that case, you're using 100% of the pipe volume compared to a third in a gravity system. So you don't have as many roof drains to be able to have to install on the system. The other difference is you're using the full volume of a pipe instead of a third. So you can use less smaller pipe diameters for the horizontal piping underneath. It's also, obviously, because of this negative pressure, increases for a faster flow and a filled pipe system that's pretty quick due to that baffle design, where it's a low profile, so it reduces that ponding, like I've said. And which also leads, when everything's going through, leads to a significant reduction in potential below-ground drainage, if any. It allows you to run the horizontal pipes through the building over to a certain area of the building where you can have your Watts rain cycle harvesting system set up, and be able to divert and bring it to areas that are more convenient from a disposal standpoint. So here are two of the systems basically back next to each other. You see, from a gravity system, like I said, you have a deeper water level or ponding on the top of the roof compared to the siphonic. The difference with gravity is, to get everything down, it's using gravity. So you need to slope the piping, bringing it through the system. And what this slope does is actually change, obviously, the angle of the piping through the building. It makes it a little more difficult from an engineering standpoint, from an installation standpoint, to get around other services in the area, other piping, vent work, and so forth, that would be needed. So it makes it more difficult in the design practices. So the other key from a siphonic standpoint, besides the plate, is just the design, the engineering of the system. What Blucher does in this case is, we actually have a kind of a process that's set up to receive the drawing file on the building layout. So once we have a completed form that's just kind of shown on the right of the screen here, but it just answers the basic questions that you would for any roof drain system. Rainfall data for collection, the height of the building, the roof area, length and width, marking any restrictions on the downpipe, and roof drain placement based on different things that we can't get around from a design standpoint. Noting the material. And what happens is, we put this into our system, and you get back a drawing with any comments, replies, if it will work, if it won't, along with the layout and bill of materials. So right here, using the Blücher DrainStar Siphonic calculator, creates and determines all the hydraulic calculations for the system, gives isometric drawings of everything, and the complete build layout, basically of what pipe goes where, what drain, fittings, and when you need to increase pipe to basically balance flow rate and pressures in the system. The other key with not only just siphonic roof drainage for Blücher, is just all roof drainage, is the use of our push fit piping. So it comes in 304 or 316 stainless steel. The key is, for buildings, it is non-combustible, and it is fire rated, very corrosion resistant, has a long life. But the push fit installation is actually a very fast connection point. There's no welding, there's no clamping or coupling to be able to clamp down. It is pickle passivated, which means that it has a chromium oxide coating covering the pipe, giving it more resistancy, more strength, and more longevity. And also is offered in 1.5 to 12 inch in length. Obviously, in a siphonic system, you'll never get to the 12 inch size, basically. But we do have all the offerings. Generally, it's 2, 3, 4, 6-inch piping that would be used. So here are some of the just pictures in some Siphonic systems that we put up and installed. You see kind of from the horizontal piping, actually down in the area where we do have the push fit increasers to be able to transition from whether it's 2-inch pipe to 2.5, 3, 4-inch, being able to just push fit the system completely together, similar to an erector set. And here's a little closer up picture of that increaser. So as it's going through the piping, being able to balance the pressure and flow rate of the system. So from a product offering, there are a lot of options that you can also do from not only the Siphonic, like I said, but all of our roof drains. You have the 2-part rod that can be used for single ply membrane or asphalt roofs. Lower parts for, like we kind of went through in different roof styles and types. We also have the ability from a heat tracing to be able to put that onto stainless along with insulation or the combination of both shipped direct. So it eliminates any potential kind of setup or pre-setup on the system. Other accessories were all emergency drainage. This piece right down on the bottom is basically a section that push fits right into our existing roof drain. So you have your emergency draining with the same platform and framework, basically of installing the same exact drain, just adding this feature for your emergency drainage section on the roof. Here are some of the options in different styles, lower part and upper part. The upper part is very similar, obviously, like I said, except for the Siphonic plate, but different lower parts depending on what needs to be attached in the roof material that is going on. So basically, noticing the key advantages to Siphonic roof drainage, you have your reduction in potential in roof drains on the system. You have less pipe, less system in terms of bringing it through the building, less hangers due to the push fit piping and stainless pipe that has a light weight, so you're not having to hanger every certain distance with cast iron that is, a 10-foot stick of cast iron is 76 pounds compared to a 10-foot stick of 4-inch stainless steel that's 16 pounds. So a big difference in an installation time and labor. Reduction in materials for even the transportation of discharge, the underbedding that will go through underneath the system, where because you're allowing a longer horizontal pipe to kind of go to one collection point, maybe 2 on a system, compared to a gravity that would use 2, 4, maybe 6, depending on the building layout. The other key part is the piping is actually, with the Siphonic system, has a self-cleaning property. So with the higher flow rates, it actually rips through that pipe and self-scours the entire pipe itself. And one other main part to notice is where with the Blucher Siphonic calculator and design assistance that we offer, really from a complete drainage system, it is backed by Blucher. So from an ANSI/ASPE 45 aspect, the design is, the liability is taken by the designer, and that's a key part to know for our, from an engineering standpoint and design standpoint, where we'll back our product and our design. But Blucher offers a lot more of the roof drainage offerings for different types of applications, whether it's green roof, blue roof, intelligent roof, obviously the gravity and Siphonic as well. We have downpipes, compatible drain bodies for all types of roof designs that are equally suitable for both gravity and vacuum/Siphonic systems. So hopefully gave a decent understanding, kind of a basic understanding on the Siphonic and the Blucher Siphonic system. Please visit wattswater.com, also our Facebook page, to see all of our other products that Watts offers. Especially from a Watts Siphonic system, where we work with the Watts rain cycle for rainwater harvesting systems. but we have many brands that are extremely well known and extremely durable products. So if you do have any questions regarding our Siphonic offerings, our capabilities, be happy to discuss with you. Please post on this from this presentation. Also, you can email me, email below at walt.c@wattswater.com. And please look out next week on Wednesday, May 27th at 12 o'clock Eastern Time. Mike O'Brien from our Canadian regional manager will be discussing more in terms of our push-fit piping and the key benefits. Thank you.